Alright, hello everybody. And man, is this a video I am definitely looking forward to doing. I'm about to review the brand new movie in theaters and on HBO Now, The Matrix Resurrections. I have to tell you that I'm a person who loves a good movie and loves a really good story. And one of my absolute top 5 favorite movies ever made was The Matrix, the original one done in the 90s. Actually, I love the whole trilogy. Of course, starring Carrie-Anne Moss and Keanu Reeves. When I saw it the first time, I was absolutely blown away, which is really interesting because I'm a younger person. I didn't see the movie when it originally came out and hit theaters. I saw it much, much later. And even much later when I saw it, it still blew me away. It was a gripping story, extremely suspenseful, and I honestly could not tell what was going to happen. Just so many things about it. I mean, some of the lines in the movie were so well done. I mean, especially there's just so many parts in it, whether it's Keanu Reeves playing as Neo attempting to find the truth about the Matrix, or the first time he meets the evil Smith AI character. You know, when he looks out across the city landscape and he said, "Look at everybody. Look at the..." He says, "Living out their lives, completely oblivious to what is around them." I mean, it's just so many things. Or whether it's Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, an actor I really like, explaining to Neo the truth of the Matrix and offering him the red and blue pill. Just so much of it just hit home. It was perfect. This is one of the few movies I'd say was 10 out of 10. And I just couldn't wait to see Reloaded and Revolutions, which were very good movies in my opinion, but still inferior to the first one. And then I heard and saw the trailer for The Matrix 4 Resurrections, which was supposed to bring back Keanu Reeves as Neo and Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity, which I really liked her character, so I was happy to hear about that. And when I saw the trailer for the first time, I had that same feeling I did when I saw the first movie. Blew me away. It looked like it was going to be phenomenal. I mean, there's so many little things I could pick out in the trailer. When I finally sat down to watch the movie, I just could not wait to see the new adventures of Neo. What would happen? And right from the start, I have to tell you, it does exactly what it should have done. It took me completely by surprise. I'm not going to give you any major spoilers, but it begins pretty much exactly the way the first one did. Trinity is sitting down in the darkened room. She's taking the call. And then everything changes. I'm not going to tell you how, but there's new characters watching her as all of this is happening. And I'm like, what is happening? And just like the first movie, The Matrix Resurrections took me by surprise and kept me guessing as to what would happen. And of course, what happened to Keanu Reeves' character of Neo? What happened to Neo? Neo wakes up and apparently is working on a video game called Binary, which was really interesting. Unfortunately, we never got to see what that game was, but I think they could have drawn that home a little bit. But apparently, Neo has developed the Matrix trilogy, one of the greatest video game franchises of all time. What? Everything that happened to Neo was explained as a video game. Everything. And of course, the Smith character does return, played by a new actor who's, in my opinion, inferior to the old guy. The old guy just monologues so much better, in my opinion, and nailed it. And sadly, we didn't get to see Lawrence Fishburne back as Morpheus, which is kind of sad because I love Morpheus. And even though the new guy did a really good job, in my opinion, he just wasn't Lawrence Fishburne. Just couldn't do it as well. But again, back to Neo. Everything has been explained away to him. He talks to a psychologist every day, played by Neil Patrick Harris, who is a very interesting character, but I'm not going to spoil that too much, as the psychologist tries to help Neo and understand that everything that ever happened to him was just a fantasy that he video gamed and tried to make a video game about his life. Again, it's such a great story. There's a lot of really good action scenes, and some of the cinematography is really good. But one of the most interesting things about this movie is it went in a dramatically different direction from the original trilogy, and even in a different direction than what I thought it would be, in both good and some blandish ways. I can't tell you some of the bland parts of it without really spoiling too much of it for you. I will say Keanu Reeves nailed it. Carrie-Anne Moss was great as Trinity, although oddly enough, she wasn't in the movie that much, which was kind of a slight letdown. And Lawrence Fishburne didn't return back as Morpheus, which kind of stunk because I really liked his character. But it did manage to do what the original movie did. It was suspenseful. It did keep me guessing, and I honestly had no idea what was going to happen or even what was going on until the very end. It pulled a lot of surprises, and there's just all kinds of little references to the movies that were just great in the movie. One particular early scene, I'll just mention this real quick, was where all the people are supposed to be developing a Matrix 4 video game. Yes. And then, of course, Neo hilariously says, wait, Warner Brothers can't do that to us. And the Smith character says, actually, Warner Brothers can. They own the franchise, man. That was kind of funny, actually. And then they're all sitting around talking about the original Matrix films, and they're all like, what is it? Is this a thriller? No, one person said. It's actually a story about a crypto dictatorship. And all of them are sitting around trying to piece it together, and they're able to come up with about a dozen different applications for the movies. Is it one of them, or is it all of them? Well, you decide. That's one of the just great ways it was written. It's a great movie, in my opinion. It is flawed, however. There are some things they could have done a little bit better. Like I said, bringing back Fishburne would have been a huge help. Some of the new characters are just okay, in my opinion. They're not bad, but they're not that great either. Overall, I give the movie an 8 out of 10. In my opinion, it didn't manage to nail itself the way the first Matrix movie did, which is just 10 out of 10 to me. This is still a really good movie. It's a good way to bring back the franchise. I thought they did a pretty good job. I enjoyed watching it. I was taken by surprise, and there's just so many little things you could just pick out and just think on. This is one of my favorite things about the Matrix films. They really make you think, which this movie did. So overall, I'd say good job, guys. Good job, Warner Brothers. 8 out of 10. It was good. Could have been better in some areas, but it's still a good movie. I'd recommend you see it.